When Shane first came to me, he was unprofitable and he was struggling with finding a consistent edge and a consistent system. That was in November. We are now in June and Shane has made over $100,000 in profits, is live on Top Step with a 50K account, has withdrawn over $45,000 with Chronos, and is now focusing on growing his private capital and beginning a track record to go with investors. Now, today I'm not going to do any fancy edits. I'm not going to give you guys a storytelling, whatever. All I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the process through which Shane and I went through in order to make him the trader he is today compared to where he was. So, let's start with his journal when he first started, right? So when we first started working together, right, when Shane first joined the program and we first started doing all this stuff, something was very evident with him, right? And it was he had no organization. He was all over the place. Look at his trading times, right? Trading at 9:38, at 10:22, at 10:50, at 9:30, at 9:31, right? So his trading times were all over the place. And then in terms of his confluences, right? I was looking at his trades. I was looking at what he was doing, and he was just going off like a 1 minute time frame trade, and he was just looking to catch a single market reaction, right? You can see in this trade, right? It doesn't really make sense. We are bullish. We took the lows, went higher, took the high, went lower, failed to break. We had some bookmark liquidity at this level, ended up going higher, right? Then we look at this other trade Shane took, right? Oh, he thought it was going higher, but his stop was improperly placed and his timing was off. Therefore, it ended up getting choppy and he ended up getting stopped out twice in the same day. So what I did is I hopped on call with Shane, right? And we were just looking at the markets, we were looking at his trades, and we decided to make two major changes. Number one, his trading times. We realized in his first month of journaling that his best trades, look at what they have in common, right? Look at the times. 10:53, 10:18, 10:17, right? And then we go to his losses, 9:39, 9:51, then break even. Oh, then at 10:51, a good trade, right? And then all his losses, and it was a very common pattern, came around 9:30 a.m. And then look at this, 10:17, he made negative 900. But then at 10:40, he was 3,800. Then at 11, he was making $2,000. And then so we started seeing a pattern. And something we realized is whenever the open gets choppy, if he started trading after 9:45, he was seeing some stellar results, right? We can see it here. The open was choppy. He traded at 12, $4,000. The open was choppy, traded at 10, $500. The open was choppy. He actually took the trade pre-open. He broke his rules and he ended up making money. We had to talk about this, and he didn't trade for 3 days. This was prior to the elections because we were like, hey, you broke your plan. We got to take a break. And then so on we went, right? So then we ended up the year making some decent progress, but no payouts yet. But then we started looking at some better trades, right? We started seeing some better trades. Let me go into the first couple trades he took after this, right? This is a trade. So this was his first trade after our second major call. And look at this, right? He scaled in, he got a banger trade out of it. We understood the liquidity, we understood the context. Second trade after that, we understood the overall context, we understood where the liquidity was, and he was able to hold through the session. So we started seeing some changes, right? And then the biggest thing is look at something that he did very well, which is what we established from our first call. You cannot lose big, right? Look at this, negative 8, 900, 800, 800, 1,000. But then he was making 4,400, 3,800, right? His losses, if you look all the way through the journal, even now, right now, look at his average loss size. 1,500, 1,300, 1,600, 1,700, 1,500, 1,200, 1,500. Like, he is super sharp with his losses. And then look at his wins, 10,000. 6,000, 6,000, 3,000, 5,000, 25,000, right? And it is not a work of magic. So let's go into the details of what exactly made him win so much. Well, as you can see, when he was barely profitable, he was trading with two contracts. And then we start seeing what he was doing. And I realized that with Shane, he was better off starting with less risk than what he initially wanted to put on. And then as he added risk, right, if he added contracts and trailed a stop, that way his net loss was the same, he was getting some huge bangers because I realized that, hey, whenever Shane's trades go 0.5 R into profit and they break structure, 90% of them are playing out. So all you need to do, what I told him, all you need to do is trail your stop to the point where you're losing the same amount of money, take the same trades and scale in. And he was literally making double the profit per trade after that single adjustment we made, all because we understood what he needed to do and how he needed to do it, right? Don't believe me? Let's look at the trades. This trade, right? Let's look at the trade where he made 20K, right? Or 10K. Okay, let's go to the trade where he made 10K. There we go. He made 10K in this trade. And again, the trade after that, he ended up losing 1,500. He made 5K right after. Like, even after a huge day, his wins are still small because he is controlling his losses. So look at this, right? We understood where the stop should have been. We understand the trend. We understand where it's going. Boom. And he just plays it out. Then we look, the next day he took a loss. Again, his win rate is around 40%, right, year to date. Guess what? He took the trade, same edge, same patterns, took the loss. Negative 1,500, he calls it a day. So again, guys, this is why it's so important to stick to your risk. And this is the main differentiator why Shane has been so successful, is we understand his edge, we understand data, and we understand scaling in with risk-adjusted returns, right? Because we understand his Sharpe ratio, we knew his expected value, and we knew that all we needed to do was adjust his risk profile. Again, massive trade he caught over here, bounce from the liquidity, continuation higher after the market open, and this is what's also allowed Shane to get some banger trades. His risk to reward ratio has been spectacular because we understand how to use the order flow in our advantage to get a better risk to reward per trade. And then just to finalize, right, look at all the trades he's been taking lately. Again, from the beginning to now, look at the trades he's been taking. Everything has been journaled. His losses, they were under the same pretenses, under the same edge, and he just lets it play out. And now to this date, Shane is managing a 40K top sub count. He's got another 45K from Kronos, other payouts at other places. But again, look at the importance of journaling, calculating his expected value, right? He started off with a negative expected value, had a good month, then it went negative again. And then this year has been positive because we've been focusing on two things, keeping his losses small and adapting to his edge to the market conditions. So if you guys want to go through the same process that Shane went through to taking from an unprofitable trader to making over 6 figures, it is really simple. You're going to click the link below. You're going to fill the type form. If you are qualified, again, because this is not, I can just sell it to everybody, right? We are very meticulous with who we take into the program. If we feel you're a good fit, from the form, we're going to hop on a call. And if during the call I notice, like, hey, you're actually a good fit for the trading floor program, you're somebody that we can scale to 6 figures, then we'll take you into the program and we'll work with you because there's a lot for me to win if I make you profitable, right? We'll discuss it in program, but if you become profitable, I make money from it without taking yours away, and it'll make sense during the call, right? So if you guys are interested, just fill out the form. If for some reason you're disqualified, we have the trading floor community where you get access to my live streams, you get access to my strategy, and if you can prove me wrong and say, no, I actually can be profitable, I will take you in under my wing for free and scale you to this if you can prove me wrong. If I initially say I don't think you have the potential, right? So appreciate you guys watching this video. I'm gonna make a couple more videos like this, right? Next video is coming up. I'm gonna show how I took Bernardo to 6 figures. Then I'm gonna show how I took Michael to 6 figures. Then how I took Antonio to 6 figures. And then I'll also make some videos on the guys I've taken to multiple 5 figures, like Luis. Guys like EJ Walls. Actually, EJ might actually already hit the 6 figures. No, I think EJ did hit the 6 figures. Yeah, so I'll make a 6-figure case study on EJ. But again, I could pull up a list of like 70 people at least that I've taken to 5, if not 6 figures using these same repeatable systems. So if you guys are interested in going through the process and making, some progress in your trading and doing the same things that Shane did to get here, then fill the form. And if not, just like and subscribe and keep getting more value from these videos.